welcome to episode 39 of the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm Ricky Chabruggi, and joining me again tonight is producer Derek Relaford. How you doing tonight, Derek?
Doing well. How are you doing, buddy?
Not doing too bad. Another windy day in Kansas, boy, let me tell you what.
It's kind of loud in your studio, but it sounds cool. It sounds like you're in a dispatch area,
Oh, yeah?
but it's actually just your daughter watching TV.
Yeah, she's watching Bobby Duke-Arts.
Wow, with Duke Cards. We'll live with it. Yeah, not a bad day, man. I had to work today, and now I'm gonna do this show, and I got to work tomorrow, and then we're gonna have a happy MLK Day on Monday. I got the day off, so it's gonna be. You don't get days off.
No, not for that one.
Generally, if the rest of the world is celebrating, Ricky's working.
Yeah.
If it's like a day where everyone's like, hey, we're going to hang out and have barbecue, they make Ricky work.
No, I took a road trip today for a little bit, and let me tell you, the wind was insane.
Yeah.
Got behind a truck pulling a trailer from California, and that wind was pushing that trailer all over the place.
I don't miss Kansas at all, buddy. I mean, I do, but I don't miss the weather at all.
Yeah. Told my ex-wife, because I was riding with her, I told her, I said, I bet you that guy will be glad when he gets back to California.
Yeah. Yeah, get back to the nice weather and stuff. But we have a very big show tonight, guys. We have 17 cases we're going to cover. Yeah. So things are happening across the state of Kansas, across everywhere. So let's get into this, Ricky. I've been sharing this out to people. I love when people come hang out with us. By the way, we do have a comment section. You can see right here. Michelle Daniels Wittenberg has just utilized that. Feel free to put all of your comments, questions, concerns, even if it's negative, we'll deal with it. Whatever you want to say, put it over there. Mm-hmm. We'll try to get to everything as soon as possible. And this is our main area where if you have a case you want us to cover, drop it there, and it'll be on next week's show. And we might even have a flyer tonight. It won't be completely updated, but we might have some type of flyer so we can put at least a picture up tonight. And of course, going forward for next week, that's kind of how we get our cases. People telling us, what's going on and stuff. So let's go ahead and get into these cases, Ricky. We got a whole long show tonight. Tell us a little bit about Alexander.
All right, I will do that. And good evening, Michelle, and thank you for hanging with us tonight. And where is Mr. Perez? There he is. Alexander Perez is missing from Ulysses, Kansas since December 1st of 2020. He's 35 years old. He is 5'11" tall, 235 pounds. He does have black hair, but he does tend to shave his head bald, and he has brown eyes. It's believed that he may still be in the local Ulysses area, or that he may be in the Garden City area or the surrounding area. He does have several tattoos, including a B on the left side of his face under his eye, which you can kind of see that.
Yeah, a little bit of a glare, but you can see it there.
Yeah, with that Raiders picture, or with the Raiders beanie he's wearing there.
Yeah.
And the other one, you can kind of see it a little bit under the bill of the Kansas City hat.
Yeah.
But if you have any information regarding his disappearance or you know of Alex's whereabouts, please call the Ulysses, Kansas Police Department at 620-356-4600 or 620-356-3500 or the KBI at 785-296-4017.
How did you hear about Alexander's case?
I was contacted, a private message on him.
From a family member? Or?
Yeah, I believe it was a family member, yes.
So let's, and obviously we won't say anything. You know what you can say and what you can't say. What's the story? Just disappeared one day, or was he having some issues? I'm trying to base what the family's worried. Are they worried that something sinister happened to him, or maybe he's we say, took a walk, just went and was by himself? What is their what are they thinking?
It just sounds like that he just pretty much just disappeared.
Wow.
I didn't really get much in the way of details as far as circumstances. They really didn't have much information on him.
It's, okay, Ulysses is actually a pretty big town compared to, I'm from Elkhart, which is not anywhere near as big as Ulysses, but Ulysses is not a big town at the same time. It's a pretty small little patch of Kansas. So it's go missing in a town like that, that's scary, because anybody that's ever lived in a small town, it's really hard to go, everybody, you leave your house, 13 people see you, they know who you are, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
for a town like Ulysses' size, for nobody to see him since December 1st. Now, you said that they think he might still just be in Ulysses somewhere? Or?
They think it might either still be there or he may be over in Garden City or the area surrounding Garden City.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's, I say it's a big town. It's not a big town, but there's a lot of people in that area of the, that part of Kansas, Garden City, so, and a lot of people watch this show from that area. So anybody sees this guy, contact, KBI, or contact, what was the number again, one more time, Ricky?
Let's see here. I pulled that back up. Let's see. Ulysses phone number for their police department, 620-356-4600 or 620-356-3500.
So anybody sees him, contact Ulysses Police Department. You can Google it if you don't remember that number. I'm sure they got a Facebook page. They're all ears. They want to know where Alexander is. This is a really tragic case. We have covered it before, but there were some updates you wanted to tell me about, or you just updated the flyer at least. Tell us a bit about Billy Bob Black and Mary Lou Black.
Yeah, let's see here. They are. I gotta find their little flyer here. Where is it? I apologize for the delay on this.
No problem.
There it is. They went missing from Atchison, Kansas on September 11, 2009. Billy was 74 when he went missing. He's now 85. He's 6 foot tall, weighs 190 pounds, gray hair and brown eyes. Mary Lou was 72 when she went missing. She'd be 84 now. She's 5'1", 115 pounds, gray hair and brown eyes. They disappeared from Atchison around 8:15 in the morning on September 11, 2009. They left their home in the 2400 block of Pacific Street in their light blue four-door 1990 Honda Civic with Kansas license plate AWX605 and never returned. Their vehicle's never been located either.
Wow.
Paint missing from the hood, and its exhaust system is loud and dangles from the undercarriage. After their disappearance, the lights were found turned on in the Black's home. Billy and Mary's driver's licenses were there, as well as a checkbook and some cash, and Billy's insulin was in the refrigerator. They had one son together. By the time of their disappearance, both Billy and Mary had severe health problems. Billy was stressed from having to care for Mary and told her son it would be better for him if his parents weren't around. Authorities and members of Black's families believe they're no longer alive. One theory is that they drove either accidentally or intentionally into the Missouri River. Little evidence is available in their cases, however, and their disappearances remain unsolved. If you have any information regarding Billy and Mary's disappearance or you know of their whereabouts, please call the Atchison County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 913-367-4323 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And I updated this flyer and reposted it because last night I was watching, again, YouTube, the Adventures with Purpose YouTube channel. They, as part of their 2020 case thing that they were doing, they stopped in Atchison, Kansas to do some river searches for Billy and Mary Lou. And basically they were in a small boat in the river with their sonar, going down the river with sonar, looking for anything that might look like a car on their sonar. And they did dive a place and did find one truck, but it wasn't the truck they were looking for, and they were making plans on going back to pull the truck out anyway. But then they got information that a fisherman fishing a little bit further down the river from where they were, while he was fishing, got his fishing line snagged, and he pulled on it, and he pulled up a blue mirror that when they ran the serial number off the mirror, it came back to a Honda Civic, but it was unknown, and it was blue, but it was unknown what year that of a Civic it came from. So they went that part in the boat again with the sonar. They didn't really find anything that resembled a car on the sonar, so they haven't dove there yet, and that was day one of their search, and they were planning on going back the next day to do another search. And I haven't seen a video for that one yet, but I'm watching for it. And if they do post another video for that one, I'll watch it and I'll link it to see.
I mean,
what they
as soon as you said their car was missing too, I Google mapped Atchison, and immediately saw that there was a river going through there, and I was like, I would look there. And there's also, it looks like a Lewis and Clark Village lake. Which who knows how big these lakes are on these maps, but it's. Are you familiar with that area, Ricky? Have you ever been around there?
I've never been up around that area. No.
Like when you say river in Kansas, like there's a river that runs north of Elkhart, but there's no water in it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you say river, when you watch that video, was it look like there was like sitting water, or was it like a nice like current going? Like was it like a decent sized river?
It's the Missouri River, so it's a decent sized river, and there was a pretty heavy current when they were uh, on the boat, and when they were also when Jared was diving, he said that current was really heavy underwater.
So basically, if somebody or if you just were to drop a vehicle in that in that river somewhere and let 10 years go by, chances are it could be way further down the river. Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Definitely, yeah. They were very strong current. Okay. Current,
yeah.
Yeah, I guess Missouri River does. I'm from the rivers I know around my home. They're not mighty at all. So yeah, that's that. Honestly, that's awesome that you have these people out there that are looking for stuff like that. Like diving and using the sonar. I mean, that could really explain a lot of stuff to a lot of families. And how many times do you hear about people like making just a wrong turn around a body of water, and then that's the last you see them? Like it's happens all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So if anybody has heard anything or seen anything around the Atchison area, anybody goes out fishing or boating on the Missouri River, you hear of any talk around there, definitely call KBI. Definitely looking.
Definitely.
It's been a long time, but like their families, obviously, and it's like it's just so like they were here, and then one day they got in their car and just never was seen again. Like it almost sounds like a country song or something. It's like it's just like that's very odd, for two people just to get in their car and just leave. Like
right.
For without there being any other type of reason, or like like maybe like, well, they were like having financial troubles, or they were doing this, but like it seems like they're just like, yeah, they just left and we don't know where they are. So like that's, I don't know, I think it's really cool. That what's that YouTube channel one more time? People need to be watching that.
It's called Adventures with Purpose,
and they basically just go around doing dives on cold cases and stuff, and doing searches and stuff. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, I hope they find something for Billy Bob and Mary Lou, man. That's a really that's going to be really cool to get some developments on that for sure.
Yeah, I hope they do find. Like I said, that was just day one of the search. They were talking about going in the next day, so I'm watching for a video for that.
Nice. All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about Deshaun. Actually, we got some comments here. Let's get to.
Yeah.
Connie Judd said, "Is there any news about Kenny from Salina?"
Nothing new at all. Not a word. I just don't get how there can't be anything out there about him. I think about him, semi-regularly, and just wonder where he could be, what could have happened to him.
Yeah. Meaty says, "Sup."
Yeah. What's going on, Emery's?
Abel says, "First time in your life. Thanks for stopping by."
Yeah. How you doing, Lisa or Michelle?
Donald Ianson says a curse word, so I won't post it, but he says, "Adventures with Purpose, do that." I just turned on to it. They're great, basically, is what he said. Yeah, but you got me into like just watching people magnet fish for 4 hours, which I have yet to see anything super interesting besides a bunch of shotguns. But like it's mostly like, no, this is what it is. It's not that it's not interesting stuff, but these guys will pull out like a 9-year-old bicycle, and you'd think they found $1 million. It's like, look what I got. Look, I'm like, it's a 9-year-old bicycle that doesn't.
I know, right?
Like, throw it back.
I watched one. What was I can't think of the YouTube channel's name. I'll have to get the name of it. But I was watching one. He found a shotgun and he found a big old bag full of jewelry.
Really?
Big old.
Yeah,
bag.
I wouldn't have posted that video. I just would have went straight to the pawn shop, sold it. Like, I didn't find anything today. Right. Ricky, I saw you were coughing a little bit during that last case. You doing better now?
Yeah, I had my daughter get me a bottle of water.
There we go. All right, you're doing better. You want to tell us about Deshaun?
Yes.
Hey, by the way, everybody, if you're watching, we appreciate it. Please share the show. We're looking for these people. 17 cases tonight. 17 cases we're curious about tonight, so please share the show.
All right, we ready for Deshaun? Deshaun Williams, he is a missing and endangered runaway who went missing from Dodge City, Kansas on January 9th, 2021. Deshaun was last seen on Avenue C and Oak in Dodge City. He likes to frequent the Wright Park Skate Park on 71 North 2nd Avenue, Freddy's and IHOP, both on Wyatt Earp Boulevard, and the car meets at Subway and Kentucky Fried Chicken. Both are also located on Wyatt Earp Boulevard.
Yeah.
I did a map search on that, and it's just like one long strip of restaurants on Boulevard there on Wyatt Earp.
Yeah.
Deshaun's 17 years old. He's about 5'9" tall, weighs 140 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a navy blue hooded windbreaker, black jeans, and navy blue and white Vans with black and white checkers and flames on the side. If you have any information regarding Deshaun's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Dodge City, Kansas Police Department at 620-227-4646 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. So hopefully, Deshaun, if you're out there, get a hold of somebody and say, hey, I'm okay. Here's where I'm at. Come get me and get back to a safe place.
Yeah, that's nothing but cold wind in Dodge City right now. I'm getting chilly thinking about it, man.
Donald commented about, you see the dude Magna Fishing who got a grenade fuse and it blew up almost in his hand. No, I didn't see that one.
Ricky will watch it tonight.
I'll have to see if I can find that one.
Dodge City area, Deshaun Williams. Yeah. Some of you younger people probably have talked to him since January 9th. Maybe message somebody from his family, message the police, call Ricky, call somebody, say, hey, I've talked to Deshaun. He's alive. That's the first stepping stone. We want to make sure he is doing okay. And we can deal with the details later of, him telling his family where he's at and, what's going on. He can do that on his own time. But let's just make sure that Deshaun is still with us and doing okay. So if you know where he is, please let authorities know. You don't have to tell where he is. Just say he's alive. We'll start there. But really, Deshaun needs to not be by himself out right now. He needs to go back and figure this out. So, with Dodge City, Kansas, we're leaning on you tonight. We're looking for Deshaun Williams.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, Donald Ianson, he must be in Florida because he said it's cold in Florida too.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. He's a really good guy. Okay, so let's go to. We have another. This is our first unsolved homicide of the evening. This has been a little while. I'm guessing you've probably had this flyer on the page for a very long time, right?
Actually, no, I just did it recently.
Oh, really?
It's actually a recent one. I had a family member get a hold of me about it and asked me if I would get one made up and posted. And I said, yeah, I sure will. And it's Ray Reeves. He called his friends on the night of June 4th, 2005. He had broken up with his girlfriend and he wanted company. It was late and his friends were at a party at the dam. I'm not sure what dam that is. One friend was getting off work soon and would pick him up. So Eric went to the party that night. At some point during that party, Eric argued with someone and walked off about 2 o'clock in the morning. Friends looked for him, but thought he must have gotten a ride when he got to the highway. The next morning, they tried to call Eric and got no answer. So they called Marcy, his sister, to see if she'd heard from him. And after finding out she hadn't heard from him, they knew something wasn't right. The search began soon afterwards, and authorities were called to assist. Sheriff's officers, Highway Patrol, state troopers, and even a helicopter searched. But as darkness fell, Eric hadn't been located. The next morning, after 2 more hours of searching, 2 friends on 4-wheelers found Eric lying in the tall grass in the ditch. He was dead. Evidence was found that Eric had been hit from behind by a 1995 or newer Peterbilt semi-truck. The accident was never reported, and the driver has never been located. If you have any information regarding Eric's death or information on the truck or the truck driver, please call the Barton County, Kansas Sheriff's Department at 620-793-1876 or the KBI at 1-800-572-7463. And I saw comments under this flyer asking about how they knew it was a 95 or newer. And I guess they recovered some fragments from the truck that were on the ground after it hit him, and they were able to piece together those fragments and tell from that it was 95 or newer.
And this is my thing, Ricky. Like we've covered from my neck of the woods, Ty Markar. Again, he was his death rolled an accidental hit and run, But still, when you say accident hit and run, that means you don't know who hit him. And to
Right.
me, that's maybe not a crime, but they need to at least say something, you know. So anyway, I don't buy. I'm sorry, I just do not buy for a second. And a kid in Boise City, Oklahoma, got hit by a truck, and there's just like, oh, accident. We don't know who did it. It's you don't hit something the size of a human and not know about it.
Right.
Like, you know, immediately you hit something.
Right.
And maybe I mean, I know that truckers hit deer all the time. Maybe they don't
Right.
stop, but I mean, I think even if you hit a deer, you would stop to check your damage out, you know, see like if you
Right.
need to stop for. So I don't believe for a second that somebody can hit somebody like on the highway and then just like never know about it. Just, you know, just go on. Oh, I had no idea I did that. I don't buy that at all. I think you definitely knew you hit something then, and then you probably saw it on the news a few days later. And that's, and I'm not saying throw you in prison. I'm just saying, like, let the family know what happened. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
this is a typical thing. You have people that get hit and run accidents, and they're very rarely solved because nobody was there except for the victim and the perpetrator. And again, it's not like, most of the times they're not like crimes of passion. It's just an accident. But still, you know, you can't hit somebody with a car and just keep driving.
Right. Yeah, and that was actually one theory that I read, that somebody that maybe they theorized that maybe he hit a deer and just kept on going.
But I mean,
But
unless they were just passing through and they were never in Great Bend ever again, maybe. But
yeah,
somebody that was in the area would have heard over the next few days, like, oh, Ray Reeves got hit. And they'd be like, wow, I think I hit, where'd he get hit? That's where I hit a deer the other night. I mean, it's just, I don't believe that whoever hit these people is out there just like, I have no idea. No, I think all of them know they hit probably a person because they did some research. Anyway, if anybody has heard anybody like talking about like, oh, I got to get something off my chest, or, you know, like if you see weird behavior with people of involving Ray Reeves, like, you know, report that stuff. Like, this guy is no longer here. He should
right.
be, you know, he was born in 81. He's 2 years older than me. He should be hanging out with a wife and the kids, and he should be getting ready for the weekend. It might be a long weekend because MLK Day's on Monday. Like, that's what he should be doing right now, but he's buried.
And
So that matters.
Eric's sister Marcy just commented, "Thank you. You're very welcome, Marcy."
For sure. I mean, you know, this is one of those situations where I just do not buy that
Yeah.
whoever hit him has no idea they hit somebody.
Yeah, and I agree with you too. And that even if it would have been a deer, you know, he probably did hop out and check the damage out. And I mean, he could have got spooked and like, oh my god, I hit somebody. I got to get the heck out of here.
I mean, and like, if I'm sorry. I mean, maybe I'm putting too much responsibility on people who are licensed drivers, but
Yeah.
I mean, tell me anytime you've ever seen a deer with sneakers on. I mean, you would know that it wasn't a deer. I mean, I just, like, unless you weren't paying attention to your job and you were like looking the other way,
Yeah.
you wouldn't know. Like, I mean, I just don't buy it. So I like, for his family, if you know somebody, if somebody has said something about this, or if you're watching this and it was you, just say something. Like,
Right.
you know, like, it's been 15 years, but you know, his family, his sister's in the chat right now watching. His family deserves to know what happened to him so they can just move on with their lives.
Yeah, we had an incident here in town just a couple of days ago where an older gentleman got hit by a pickup over on the west side of town, and the driver took off, didn't stick around, and fortunately the man survived. He had to undergo some surgery and made it through the surgery okay. But I mean, yeah, I mean, this the same kind of a similar scenario. They hit the guy and just took off, didn't stick around. It's a sad deal.
See, there was a lot of damage to this. Yeah, so this person, yeah. Yeah.
He would have had
You
to,
know what,
he would have had
Marcy?
to have gotten out and checked it out. He had to have. You can't tell me he didn't.
Marcy, I'm very close to 2 cases in Oklahoma where somebody was hit by a semi and nobody ever knew who did it. And tell you what, it's like a slap in the face.
It is.
It's just like, well, yeah, somebody accidentally hit your loved one. It's like, okay, well, they didn't stop. Yeah, that's a bummer. We don't know who did it. It's like, well, go find them. Like, that's illegal. You can't hit somebody and take off. You know, that's
No.
illegal.
No, you can't. That is very illegal. Very illegal. And Amy Linenberger Murray, she agrees with Marcy about
Click on that
the
comment.
damage to the truck. Okay, let me do that right here. There
There you
we
go.
go.
There you go.
Yeah,
Teaching Ricky how to be a producer.
It's interesting. Let me tell you what.
Well, I'm glad we got to talk about Eric Ray Reeves tonight, dude. He has a special place in my heart now because he died in the same way. Two people that I've been studying their cases for a long time. And that's very. I know the families. That is one that it's just double. You hardly never recover from because you
Yeah.
never know. Nobody has any idea. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about Jeffrey.
Real quick though,
All right, go back.
regarding Eric Reeves' case, real quick though, if anybody has any information on Eric's case, no matter how minute it is or how small you think it is, call that 620-793-1876 and report it to Barton County Sheriff's Office, or call it in anonymously to KBI at 1-800-572-7463, and give Marcy and the rest of his family some closure. And Marcy just commented again. I honestly don't think we'll ever find answers. Heartbroken.
Let me tell you this, Marcy. I know, and the ones I've been studying, you'd be surprised how many people know stuff. But getting them to say it in front of a law official is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd be surprised, like that. People know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's a big deal. People remember, like you're hanging out with your buddy, like, hey, what'd you do last night? Oh, I went to work and I hit something, and then I heard some guy died that night, so I think I might have hit somebody. That would happen, unless like that would happen. So anyway, tell us a little bit about Jeffrey.
Okay.
And rest in peace to Eric Ray. That's a really terrible story.
Definitely. As long as my feeling is that as long as we get got Eric's flyer up, we're covering his case. I'm hoping we're making people nervous.
Me too, man. Me too.
I'm trying to find Jeffrey. There we are. Jeffrey Palacio. He's missing from Great Bend, Kansas, since January 6th of this year. He's 17, 6 foot tall, 156 pounds, brown hair, blue, and it's dyed black, and blue eyes. It's possibly styled in a mullet. If you see Jeffrey, please do not approach him. Instead, call police immediately. If you have any information regarding Jeffrey's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Great Bend, Kansas Police Department at 620-793-4120 or the KBI at 785-296-4017.
And anytime Ricky says that, take it seriously. Do not approach Jeffrey,
Right.
people.
Right. And there's definitely a reason, so please don't.
just don't approach. If you see him, call the police.
Marcy again says thank you again, and you're very welcome, Marcy. And again, hopefully with his flyer out there and covering his case on the show and everything, it's going to get some people nervous and get some people talking.
For sure.
Yeah.
Somebody was nervous by that flyer, Marcy. I promise you.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey in the Great Bend area, if you see him or hear where he is, do not approach him. Do not try to be a hero. Just contact authorities. Let them know where he is. And the authorities are trained, and they will know how to handle that situation. So get one more good look at Jeffrey. Ricky says he may have a mullet haircut. So that's Jeffrey.
Dyed black hair. Yeah.
Okay, dyed black mullet. Tall guy too, 6 foot tall.
Yeah, taller than me. I'm only 5'6", so
Yeah. Well, we've never met, Ricky, but I'm in a tower over you.
Yeah.
Tell us about Ivy.
All right, Ivy. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. How'd you pronounce it earlier, Derek?
I think it's like Hoholik.
Hoholik. That's probably it. Missing since January 6th of 2021. She's 17. She is 5'1" to 5'2" tall. She weighs 140 to 145 pounds. She has brown hair and blue eyes. She has a tattoo of a skeleton hand on the top of her left hand, pictured there. She has a tattoo of a long-stemmed rose with a semicolon in its stem and a tattoo of vines and the moon across the back of her shoulders. Her bottom lip is pierced. She was last known to be wearing a black pink jacket and black tights. She was also carrying a pink shoulder bag. If you have any information regarding Ivy's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-660-9478 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And Ivy, if you're out there listening, get a hold of somebody and say, hey, here's where I'm at. Come get me and get me back to a safe place. Or somebody out there may know where she is, call one of those numbers and say, hey, here's where she's at.
And that tattoo is hard to miss, folks.
Oh man, I know. Skeleton tattoo with a heart in it and everything. That's a pretty detailed tattoo to be put on a hand, but it's kind of
I
cool.
would say to be put on a 17-year-old. Like,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Like, there's nothing, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just think about me, like, when I was 17, like, there's no way my mom would have ever let that fly. But, things are different now.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'd
more
probably let
power.
my kid get a little tattoo when he was 16 or something. Nothing, nothing crazy. Just a little, maybe dad. That'll be okay.
Right.
But yeah. So Ivy is in, and a lot of times we do these cases. They are in Wichita. Wichita's a big place. There's a lot of places to hide in Wichita. A lot of places. So,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Hey, Scotty, thank you. As Mercy's fiance, you guys doing this is amazing. God bless you all.
Yeah, no
Thank you,
problem,
Scotty.
Scotty.
Appreciate that.
Um, Wichita is kind of a hot spot for people that are missing on this show. We cover
Oh
at
yeah.
least 2 or 3 Wichita cases a week. So,
Oh yeah.
um, Ivy can do. She can color her hair. She can put on makeup to make herself look different. She can, take her lip ring out, but she's
Mhm.
gonna have a tough time hiding that tattoo, folks. So if you see that tattoo on anybody around her age range, that might be our person. I'm guessing that not a lot of people have that exact. I'm sure people have a skeleton tattoo on their hand, but I'm sure that one's unique in some way. You know what I'm saying? Like the heart there and everything. Like I doubt her. She went and got that with somebody else as a matching tattoo. You know what I mean? Like it looks like it's pretty unique. So I would say if anybody sees that, then that's a pretty good indicator that might be Ivy.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Short of wearing a long sleeve shirt and gloves, doesn't even really no way to really hide that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Right.
you would see that for sure.
Yep.
Okay, tell us. We got two sisters here. We'll go ahead and talk about Hannah first, and then we'll talk about Jean
Okay.
after Hannah.
Hannah Qualls is missing from Wichita, Kansas since January 4th of this year. She's 15 years old. She's 5'2" to 5'3", weighs 120 pounds. She has blonde or strawberry hair and green eyes. It's believed that she still may be in the local Wichita area, or she may travel to other cities in the state of Kansas. She may be in the company of an adult female or her sister Jean Qualls, who is also considered a missing endangered runaway. If you have any information regarding Hannah's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department 316-660-9456 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And Hannah, if you and Gene are out there listening, give somebody a call and let them know where you're at. Let them know you're safe and you want to come back.
For sure. And then we are going to cover her sister also. Now, is that a situation where they're together, they think? Or
That's the belief is that they may be together. Yes.
okay. That would make sense.
Yep. And then here's Jean. She's the older of the two. She's been missing since November 25th, 2020. So the time they went missing is quite, there's a little bit of a couple months difference there, a month and a half
Yeah.
difference. She's 17 years old. She's 5'4" to 5'5", 120 pounds. Her hair is dyed red or auburn, and she has brown eyes. It's believed she may still be in the local area, or she may travel to other cities in Kansas. She may also be in the company of an adult female, or her sister Hannah Qualls, who we just covered, who's also considering a missing endangered runaway. If you have any information regarding Hannah's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And again, Gene, let somebody know where you're at. Let's see here. Got a big comment here. I was wanting to see what that is. Please share this to reach more big-hearted people. Okay, I'm asking all my Facebook friends to go to Unsolved Mysteries and put in a tip asking to investigate Michael Aycock's missing case, which we have covered before. Maybe if enough people submit his story, we can have a chance at having real investigators look into this, as well as found behind David Johnson's house, Bolton, Kansas. Could be possibly being framed or not. That's unknown. He was last seen with Eric Walchinsky, Walton, Kansas. Interesting. Well, Father warned me about going missing. I don't know what the remainder of that comment is. We'll have to look that up and see. It's a pretty long comment. That's a pretty big comment. But anyway, Gene and Hannah, if you guys are watching, let somebody know where you're at and that you're safe and you're ready to come back. Get you back to a safe place where you need to be.
For sure.
Yeah.
And there's Hannah one more time, everybody. And they could be together.
Yep.
Okay, tell us about Lolita.
Okay, she's actually a repeat. I've done one for her a while back. Lolita Lola Lewis, missing from Topeka, Kansas since December 31st of 2020. She's 17, 5'6" tall. She weighs 130 pounds, brown hair and hazel eyes. If you have any information regarding Lolita's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9247 or 785-368-9200 or the Topeka, or the KBI at 785-296-4017. Too many numbers bouncing around there. Mike is not my father. I'm sharing this from his daughter. Interesting.
I actually pulled his flyer right there.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, missing from Walton, Kansas since May 30th of 2017. 42 years old when he went missing. He'd be 46 now. 5'10", 160 to 180. Black receding hairline and brown eyes. I don't know if I still. I don't have that flyer on this. I don't have it.
Well, that's what he looks like, folks.
Yeah. I mean, I know he went to meet somebody at an abandoned house and went missing from there, and
Yeah.
not much else known. Hannah has a TikTok and it's active on it. Recent was 2 days ago, so she is okay. Well, that's good to hear. Now we just got to get her located and back to where she needs to be. Oh, she says she's guessing. Okay. So yeah.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So yeah, if anybody knows anything regarding Michael Acock's disappearance, call the Walton, Kansas Police Department or get a hold of KBI. Let them know what's going on with Michael and see if we can't get him located.
We got a couple more cases for y'all. Please share the show. We're trying to bring as many of these people as weeks. We have a graded for next week. Ricky, tell us about Michaela.
All right. Michaela Carlock is missing from Sedgwick County, Kansas since January 1st of this year. She's 16, 5'4", 180 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. It's believed she may be with a 39-year-old adult male and is believed that she might be in Topeka, Lawrence, Lansing, Eudora, or Wichita. If you have any information regarding Michaela's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Sedgwick County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 316-660-3900 or 316-660-9478 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And this one's particularly irritating to me because I don't understand why a 39-year-old adult male would want to be messing around with a 16-year-old kid. That just blows my mind.
And how is it possible that was allowed to happen? Like the first time he was like, hey, like, what are you doing, sir? Like, this is a child. What are you doing? Like, I never get that either. How like you find out these young girls are. I get the 15, 16-year-old girl dating like an 18 or 19-year-old girl. I parents don't like that either. But I understand that a little more than. But you're never going to tell me a 16-year-old hanging out with a 39-year-old is okay, like at all. So it's just like, why are you? Yeah, you're right, man. Like, why is this guy even in the picture talking? I guess I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. It's just me. But Sedgwick County, that's basically Wichita, right?
Pretty much, yeah. And Grace Renee is sharing some more information regarding Hannah Qualls. So she has a belly button piercing as well. Yeah, I just don't get why a 39-year-old guy thinks it's all right in his mind to, be messing around with a 16-year-old girl, and maybe I'm just, I mean, I don't know. I've got a 16-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old daughter, and I tell you, if I found out one of them is messing with somebody that old, I would be trying to track him down. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like as soon as that behavior's like seen, it's just like, hey, that one right there,
Mm-hmm.
suspicious. That one's suspicious.
Right.
Yeah, I hate seeing that. It's like, why are you even in the same room as this person? Why hasn't anybody stepped in and said no?
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try to say this next gentleman's name because I'll mess it up. But you did a pretty good job in the sound check earlier.
Right. And I'm going to do my best not to butcher it. I just got to find this flyer. Right there it is. I'm going to say it's Kasim Uraman, I'm going to guess.
Okay.
Missing from Wichita, Kansas since January 4th, 2021. He's 15 years old, 5'11", 140 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Let's see here. He's been missing since about 10 o'clock that morning. He was last known to be wearing a brown and yellow plaid button-up shirt, khaki pants, and all black Nike shoes. If you have any information regarding Kasim's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And Kasim, I mean, you're 15 years old, dude. Let somebody know where you're at and you're safe and you're ready to come back and get you back to where you need to be.
Yeah, man, I agree with Ricky. Wichita, you probably don't need to be just like hanging out in Wichita with no plan or anything. That's a recipe for disaster. Let's get back somewhere safe. Let's get back on track. I'm sure you have goals. I'm sure you have things you want to accomplish in your life.
Right.
This is getting you nowhere near closer to that. So regroup, gather your thoughts, text somebody, say, "Hey, I'm okay," and then start there. And you need to go home, man. Or go somewhere safe. Being alone in Wichita at 15 is not a good idea.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Not this day and age with everything that's going on. No.
Exactly. Exactly. Tell us about Raina.
Let's see here. As soon as there she is. She's missing from here in Salina, Kansas. Been missing since November 26, 2020. She's 15 years old. She's 5'7". She weighs 130 pounds. She has dyed black hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Raina's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department 785-826-7210 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. You're getting Raina, and let somebody know where you're at and that you're all right. Let them know, hey, I'm ready to come back where I need to be.
Yeah.
It's,
And November 26th, that's a little while ago. So it's
it
time
is.
to call somebody.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. I agree with you on that one. I definitely agree with you there. All
I was
right.
looking at this case earlier. Usually we do a lot when we're dealing with missing people. We do deal with people in like the teen range.
Mm-hmm.
This girl went missing when she was 28. That's a little. I'm 37, but a little closer to my age range. And like you don't typically think that this is somebody that just ran away. A lot of times when we show a young person, a lot of people are like, oh, they ran away. We don't know that, but a lot of people would assume that. But you see something like this, and I immediately was like that's scary. That's a 28-year-old woman that's nobody's heard from in 2 years. Like
Right.
that's bad news. Anyway, tell us about Sarah Burton. After we got some behind the scenes work going on. I can tell on Ricky's camera.
Yeah.
Tell us about Sarah.
Yeah, she's been missing from Joplin, Missouri since July 16th of 2018. She was 28 when she went missing. She'd be 30 now. She is 5'7" tall. She weighs 170 pounds. She has light brown hair and blue eyes. She was dropped off in the vicinity of 10th Street and Rex Avenue in Joplin. Based on information developed by investigators, Sarah was actually last seen later the same morning at a residence in the northwest part of Joplin. Investigators would not disclose the location or the address of the residence and could not be more specific about the time of the sighting without possibly jeopardizing the investigation. Again, at the time of her disappearance, she was 28. She would now be 30, 5'7" tall, weighs 170 pounds. She has light brown hair and blue eyes. Sarah was wearing a purple and white blouse, jeans, and black flats. If you have any information regarding Sarah's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Joplin, Missouri Police Department at 417-623-3131, extension 440, or after hours 417-623-3131, or call the Kansas City, Missouri field office of the FBI at 816-512-8200. And the FBI is offering a reward of up to $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the individual or individuals responsible for the disappearance of Sarah Burton. So hopefully we can help get her located back home where she needs to be.
I looked on Facebook. You'd think there'd be like a page or something.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think. I don't think I saw one either. I read some news articles on Google, and I think I watched a video or two on YouTube, I think. But yeah, the news articles I read initially, they were saying she was last seen in the vicinity of 10th Street and Rex Avenue, and then I ran across another article that talked about based on information developed by investigators, she was actually last seen later the same morning at a residence in the northwest part of town. So that kind of changed direction of the investigation a little bit, knowing she was seen in a different part of town. But
They did like some search in 2019 on a drug raid, and they turned up something that matched up with information in their ongoing investigation of Burton's disappearance. Says the troubled mother of two young boys was last seen in the early morning hours of July 16th at an apartment house on the 100 block of North Pearl Avenue in Joplin.
Oh, well, they must have finally released that information then.
But yeah, still no sign of her. But they said that it's not really saying what they found, but it's just saying they found something on that property that was linked to the case. So,
right. And let's see here. I'm going to get you a couple of comments here real quick. Oh, you got it.
You got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, shout out to both of you. Both of you. You guys are helping in so many ways. You're very welcome, Courtney. Thank you for joining us tonight. And then there was this one here underneath hers. Her story disappeared about Mike. I'm sure.
Oh, good enough.
Mike
No, I still see it.
Huh. Okay. Huh. I don't know. But yeah, well, definitely. I mean, we've covered Mike before, but we'll be glad to get him back in there again on a future show and get him covered again. Because his is a very troubling case as well. Yeah, let's see.
Courtney Carpenter says very suspicious case.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, if anybody has any information, Joplin PD's all ears. They want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
2 years is long enough.
417-623-3131, extension 440, or after hours 417-623-3131, or the Kansas City, Missouri field office of the FBI at 816-512-8200. You can give them a call as well and let them know what information you have regarding Sarah, even if you think it's just a little tiny piece that may not be worth much. It may be worth everything to the investigators.
A little bit goes a long way in these types of situations.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Tell us about Savannah, Ricky. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more cases, everybody. We appreciate everybody for hanging out. We appreciate all the shares. Sound off in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from, and thanks for hanging out tonight. Tell us about Savannah, Ricky.
Yeah, it's Savannah Ray Bell. I don't know if it's Valentine or Ballantine. I'm not exactly sure. Been missing since Christmas Eve 2020. She's 16 years old. She's 5'2", 125 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. She's another one I've made a flyer or two for in the past. If you have any information regarding Savannah's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And Savannah, 16 years old. I know there's a lot going on. It's not easy to be a teenager this day and age. Like, so I got a daughter your age, a daughter a couple of years younger, and They're both dealing with a lot too, and we're trying to help them through this stuff as best we can. Just reach out to somebody that you can trust, an adult you can trust, whether it's a teacher, a counselor, a principal. You know, just let them know you're okay and you're safe and you're ready to go back home.
Agreed, 100%.
It's just time to get back home.
And I'm sure you have a lot of stuff to deal with when you get back home, and that's probably one of the reasons why you're not going there. But I'll tell you something. I've been 16 before. I'll tell you something, Savannah. It doesn't get any easier. You just start to figure it out more, and you start to learn, more about understanding feelings and being heard and having a voice. You're 16. You're almost 18. You're very close to being able to call the shots and do everything on your own. So just collect your thoughts, get back to your house, and be safe. And you got a couple more years, and then you can kind of do what you want to do. And right now you have two years to plan for what you want to do.
And Alicia Perez, I hope I said that right, Perez. I'm watching from Wichita. We'll be on the lookout for all the missing people. Thank you, Alicia. Greatly
Awesome.
appreciate that. And Grace, are you referring to who are you referring to as a TikTok but hasn't posted since September 19th? And Scott Messerschmidt, watching from Emporia. Thank
Oh,
you, Scott.
awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott. Greatly appreciated.
Let's get out of the state of Kansas for a little bit. Tell us about a little bit. I didn't mean to do that either.
Kind of a pun there.
I
This is
love the name though, a little bit.
Yeah, you'll see why here in a minute. Wendelin Littlebit Ann Hollins went missing from Houston, Texas on January 6, 1994. She was 32 when she went missing. She would be 59 years old now. And this is why they call her Little Bit. She was 4'11"
Oh wow,
and 87 pounds. So she's a very tiny woman.
little tiny girl.
Yeah, black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen near Sharondale Drive and Martin Luther King Boulevard in Houston. Again, at the time of her disappearance, she was 32 years old. She would be 59 now. 4'11", 87 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. Mandolin has an acne scar on the right side of her face and a scar above the left side of her upper lip. Her ears and nose are pierced. She was last seen wearing a jacket, faded jeans, and a scarf on her head. If you have any information regarding Mandolin's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Houston, Texas Police Department at 832-394-1872 or the Texas Department of Public Safety at 1-800-346-3243. And I apologize for my dog.
They're just trying to help us find people too.
I'm telling you.
Is there any leads on this one, or did just another one just vanished?
Not that I haven't seen anything about any leads. Just apparently disappeared and not much else.
Wow.
And Eric Reeves' sister Marcy's watching from Great Bend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, Marcy. Glad you could join us since we were covering your brother's case tonight. Hopefully it really helps. I really do.
Yeah. I feel like somebody has to know something. I mean, nobody hits somebody that they later hear somebody passed away there and doesn't mention it to anybody ever. Like, that's something you have to steep the teapot. You have to tell somebody, like, I think I hit somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, it just has to happen. We have 2 cases left. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out tonight. Thanks for telling us where you're watching from. Again, let us know what cases you want us to cover in the future, and any kind of messages you want to put out there. We'll display them on the screen, and we'd love to hear from you. Tell us about Tiana.
All right, Tiana Wiley. This one and the next one were 2 that just came to me last minute tonight, right before the show, literally. Tiana Wiley has been missing from Topeka, Kansas since December 14th of 2020. She's 18 years old. She's 5'6", 5'7" tall, 130 to 145 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. It's believed she might still be in the local Topeka area. If you have any information regarding Tiana's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And Tiana, if you're out there listening, I know you're 18 and an adult. Let somebody know you're safe and you're okay and where you're at, and put some minds to rest. I'm sure there's a lot of people worrying about you right now.
Yeah, text a friend. If you don't want to tell anybody where you're at, you're 18. You can kind of do what you want to do, but there's a difference between being like a grown up and out doing your own thing, and then nobody knowing where you are.
Right.
That's like you're a missing person right now. Like that's a big deal. So if you're seeing this, if one of your friends is seeing this and they're relaying messages to you, at least message Ricky at Kansas Missing and Unsolved, or at least call your local police department and say, "Hey, I'm fine."
Yeah.
Start there. But as of right now, Tiana, like you're a missing person. Nobody has heard from you.
And I will tell you, even though you are an adult, I mean, you either need to go down to the Topeka Police Department or call them, have them come and see you and make sure that you are safe and okay so they can actually clear the missing persons report out of the NCIC system, because you are actually listed as a missing person in NCIC right now. So, let them know you're okay. Somebody cared enough.
We'd love for you not to be missing if that's the case.
Yeah. I mean, somebody cared enough to actually file a report and get you found. So, let them know you're okay, and let them know, they can come see you, or you'll come see them so they can verify that you're okay and get you cleared.
We got somebody watching from Garden City.
All right. Your old stomping grounds.
My old stomping grounds.
I'm going to try to pronounce this. I know the last name is Vasquez, but is it Very Diana?
Very Diana. That's an awesome name. I wish I could pronounce it. Yeah.
Veridiana? I'm not sure. I hope I didn't butcher it.
Vasquez.
As if I did. I was telling Derek before the show, I used to be a telemarketer years back, and I used to really try my hardest to pronounce the names as best I could.
Yeah.
And I still try.
But she's got a really pretty name. It's a guy. Yeah, that's awesome. We got one more case here.
Okay. And there's Donna watching from Liberal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Donna. Appreciate that. Same for you.
We just had the manager and the coach of the Liberal BJs on Norm's show last night, so that was cool. Yeah, Liberal's a cool little town, man. Those BJs guys, man, they're really proud of being from that town.
That's cool. All right, and then the last one we're going to do tonight is Addison Walter, and I worked with the pictures that I was sent the best I could for him and for Tiana. I apologize for that, but I just have to work with what I was sent, So hopefully they help. But Addison's missing from Wichita since January 6th of this year, and I screwed up on his height. Gosh darn it. He's 15 years old. He's 5'7" tall, and he weighs 170 pounds. He has brown hair that's dyed blonde on the top and brown eyes. It's believed that he may still be in the local Wichita area, or that he might be in the Park City area. If you have any information regarding Addison's disappearance, or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or KBI at 785-296-4017. And Addison, you're 15 years old, and you need to let somebody know where you're at and you're safe, so they can come and get you back where you need to be, buddy. No, you're too young to be out there on your own right now.
Yeah, and if you got like any females in your family, like they're losing it right now, because I know, moms, aunts, like you're making a lot of people very worried. Being 15 years old, it's like we almost have to assume the worst, that somebody took you or something. And that's like, again, well, you're a missing person right now. So if you're like seeing this secondhand and that's not the case, you're not a missing person, you're just taking a walk, like me and Ricky say, you still need to let someone know you're alive.
Yeah.
Because right now everybody's assuming the worst about you. And nobody wants to. Everyone needs to know you're okay.
And that's the first step. Just let them know you're okay, and then go from there.
Everything else will work itself out, but let somebody know you're okay. Whether it's just a friend of yours, a teacher, a pastor, whatever walk of life you're in, where you have adults that you trust. We all usually have some adults we can trust. We can open up and tell, the real stuff to, and you need to find one of those people in your life and let them know, hey, I'm safe. You can let people know I'm safe. And this is what I want to do from here. But, letting people know you're safe is number one important.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're gonna do a located safe reel Tuesday of next week.
Yeah.
we had a few tonight, but we didn't have quite enough to make a reel, so we're gonna go ahead and save them for
Right.
next week. But
I do want to mention one of the last flyers I did was for Kiara Danielle Hooks, and it shared a bunch, and I greatly appreciate everybody sharing it. Shared last time I looked over 1,400 times. But I
wow,
just want to let everybody know she was located safe earlier today, and her grandparents were on their way to go get her. So
awesome.
we do know she's safe.
So she'll be on the reel next week,
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah,
and stick around every week. That we try to do 2 reels. We try to do a reel a week, but sometimes we end up just doing one every other week. What's up, Roxanne? Hi, thanks for tuning
yeah.
in.
Thank you for
We
joining us.
like to do. We'll do one next week for sure. Jacqueline.
Hey, Jacqueline. I was just over in Hayes earlier today. It's quite a windy trip to get there from Salina, but yeah, nice little place.
I like Hayes. I lived in Hayes for a little bit.
Yeah.
Played this band back in 100 years ago. I was living in Garden City, and there was this rock and roll band in Hayes, and they had this big concert they were getting ready for, which is not a big deal looking back. But their guitar player got hit with a shot put, Ricky.
Mhm.
So they had to hire D. Relly over here. I had to go to Hayes, learn the songs, sing in the bars. But I had a good time in Hayes. They treated me nice there. You know, it's like a pretty cool little town.
Yeah. Cool thing about the whole trip going to Hayes was the big windmill farms on the way.
Yeah, that's
Those are
becoming
amazing.
more of a. You're starting to see that in western Kansas nowadays. Like you're around Dodge City, there's a ton of them.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, I
What
think
got
it's
me was some of them were going like they're supposed to, and some were either like inching really, really, really slow, or some weren't going at all. And I was like, interesting. I wonder why that's what's going on with that. But
you got to
it's
go
really
fix
amazing to
them.
watch. And you wouldn't think those blades on those things, just looking at them up there, they don't look as big as they are when you see them down on the ground. We saw a couple semis sitting in a rest area that had some of them strapped to a flatbed, and those things are huge.
Yeah.
They are. Awesome. Jacqueline says she loves coming here to Salina. Good deal. Good deal. Yeah, it's a nice little place. We have our share of issues here, but I've born, raised, grew up here, never left here. Been here. Be 54. My birthday coming up in a couple of months, so I've been here 54 years.
There we go. Hey,
Yeah.
was there any updates on the lady that went for a bike ride? They found her bike and everything was fishy.
I'm trying to remember which one that was.
It was in Colorado recently.
Oh, Suzanne Morphew. I have not heard much on that one at all. It's last thing I really heard was the house that they lived in at the time has been used as a resort, more or less, that you can rent. It's like almost $2,000 a month, or $2,000 a night. I mean, to rent it. I mean, Barry's renting it out as a resort.
What?
Yeah, he's renting out their family home as a resort. It's
Oh,
crazy.
we'll see a Netflix documentary in 9 years about that guy.
Yeah. Hey Tiffany, how you doing over there in Lawrence? Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by. This was
Yeah.
a really fun show. I mean, it's never fun because the reason we're here, but we have fun, spreading
Yeah.
the word.
Yeah, I like getting the word out about these cases and giving them the exposure they need, making sure people hear about them and know about them. You know, let people
And
that may be involved know they're not going away anytime soon.
if you notice, this episode is called episode 39, which means
Yeah.
there are 38 episodes on any podcast platform. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Deezer, Spreaker, Google Play.
Yeah.
You name a podcast network, we're on there, and all 38 backlogged episodes are on all of those platforms, and you can listen to them.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool, Nancy. Your grandson works at the Wind Energy Center by Kingman. That's cool. Those places are just downright amazing.
Yeah, they're really impressive.
Awesome, Tiffany. Awesome.
All right, Ricky. Well, we did it.
Yep. Pamela, I appreciate what you guys do. Thank you from Newton, Kansas. You're very welcome, Pamela. Thank you for sitting with us tonight. I appreciate that.
I like Newton, Kansas.
Watching from Lynn, Kansas, Washington County. Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate
Nice.
that. I like seeing where everybody's from. That's really cool. It is really, really cool. I appreciate that. Well, I think that about wraps up episode 39, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's it. We will be back Tuesday of next week. It'll be a short break. But hopefully we'll be focusing a lot more on some located safes by that point.
Yeah.
Usually that's how it happens. Usually we'll have 3 or 4. Then the day of the show, Ricky's like, they found like 6 people. So we have a ton of located safes. So let's hope for that.
Yeah. And God bless you too, Mercy. And you're very welcome. And yeah, rest in peace, Eric. That's a young age to pass away at 23. Oh, that's terrible. Like I said, hopefully with the flyer up and covering his case, it'll get people talking. I really hope so. I really do. But anyway, thank you guys, everybody, for joining us tonight. It was kind of a lengthy show, 17 cases. It's unbelievable. Yeah. But thank everybody for joining us, and hope to see you for episode 40 this coming Tuesday. So it'll be a short turnaround this time. But thank you, everybody, and thank you for letting us know where you're watching from. Greatly appreciate it. And until Tuesday, stay safe, take care, and God bless, and we'll see you Tuesday. Peace.
Well, I don't think and I thought it, that's different. I said what I said and I meant it, or lamented. Words given weight without thought, and a person the way that I talk and the way that I ought to be able to pause and to say that the fault can be placed on my arms. To this playful assault, to disgrace in its arm. Pray for the day they could wait for the calm. You can't control the storm, only weather it, whether it's 5 weeks and 5 days of rain sideways, or scorched earth, search for death, or water left with all the thorns, with the petals gone, settle on the breath of autumn. If the ground fits, wear it, the crown